welcome back to my weekly Shop My Stash. Hopefully this week is bright enough for you to see everything properly. It is rainy and gloomy out, so my natural daylight that I get in this room is severely lacking, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. Okay, so I just have one thing to report on from last week before I dig into my current Shop My Stash products that I want to pull, and it is this Too Faced, what is it called again? The Pineapple Sun. It's a bronzer and highlighter. If I can open it up. There we go. Success. And it's pretty. I really like the highlighter in here, and there's nothing wrong with the bronzer, but I despise the split pan. Every time I went to use it this week, I was not happy. It was not an enjoyable experience. And the bronzer is a little bit too light to show up on my skin for my liking, so I'm just going to pass this on. But again, it's very pretty. It's very cute. It smells nice. If it wasn't a split pan, I would consider keeping it and just working with the bronzer and building it up. But because it is a bit light and it is a split pan, I have decided that I will pass this along. But yeah, that was the only thing that was kind of a bit of a bummer this week. Okay, so now I'm going to pick the items for this week. If you aren't familiar with my Shop My Stash videos, I go through this spiel every week or every couple weeks, but my Shop My Stashes are pretty well done the same way everyone else does except for my palettes. I do have quite a lot and I like to recycle through them evenly. So all of my palettes are numbered on the back and I do have them all in a database, and every 2 weeks I use the app Tiny Decisions, which is sort of like a random number generator sort of app, and I let it choose 6 palettes for me, and I don't reuse any palettes until I've gone through my entire collection. So it just kind of takes the guesswork out of it for me and makes it easier for me, and it forces me to use palettes even if I don't feel like they're in season and think out of the box and that sort of thing. And then I'm using palettes equally as well and not forgetting about them. So that's what I do, and then I just pick the rest of the items that I'm going to use randomly. Okay, so I am going to get my computer and we will pick the palettes and we will go from there.
Okay, so the first palette, let's spin the wheel. Palette 111. I'm just going to spin the wheel 6 times and then we will go and see which palettes they all match up with. Number 9. Number 28. $137. $139. And the last number is dun, 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 number 7. Okay, so let's go into my palette database and let's start with the first one, which is 111. And that one is Ccolor Cosmetics, the Savanna. Then we have number 9, which is, oh, okay, so this one is a small Z palette that I have, and it's all Makeup Geek singles in it. Then we have number 28, which is the BH Cosmetics Royal Affair palette. Next is palette 137. And that is the Ruby May Festival Daze. We have palette 139, which is the Juvia's Place Nomad palette. And the last palette that we have would be number 7, and that is the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Storm.
Okay, so the first couple of palettes that I'm going to pull out are, I'm not sure why that's there, but anyway. I'm going to pull out this Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Storm palette, as well as the Juvia's Place Nomad palette, which is this one right here. And then we're going to open this bottom drawer here, and we are going to get the Ccolor Cosmetics, what was it, the Savanna palette. I think that's an all matte palette. That's this one right here. We also have the Beige Cosmetics Royal Affair palette, which is this one. And we have the Ruby May Festival palette, which is this one. Yes, Festival Daze. And the last one we have is actually not in this drawer. It's in my acrylic one, but we'll just pull it out now. And it's in pretty much all matte palette as well. These are all Makeup Geek singles. So we have this as well. The face palette this week is actually pretty easy for me because I was eyeing this one throughout the week. It's a bunch of random things in here. I'll show it to you later. It's got some Sydney Grace highlighters, some Physician Formula products in there. I think a balm blush and some Too Faced products in there. So I'm going to pull this one out. That does not have a contour though. So I am going to pull out... You know what? I'm going to use this one this week. The Revolution Pro Sculpt and Glow. I think this is the one. Yeah, Desert Sky. This is the one that I use this time of year. So I will use this as a contour. Okay, so that face palette does have one. No, it's got 3 blushes in there. And I have one in my Project Pan. But if I'm remembering correctly, they're all more on the pinky kind of rose side. So I want to pick something a little bit more neutral as well. So I think I might pick this e.l.f. one. This is the primer infused one, I think, and Always Cheeky. So I'm going to do this one. And do I need one more? I got some pinks. You know what? I think I'll pick this one too. This is the Essence Silky Touch Blush. I don't think it's available anymore, but it's in number 10. I think this was called Autumn Peach. It's kind of cut off there, so I'm not sure. But we'll use this one this week as well. And highlighters. We have quite a few highlighters in those face palettes, plus my Project Pan, so I don't think I'm going to pick one this week, even though I really want to. I'm not going to. I also have a couple of bronzers in there, so I'm not going to pick bronzers or highlighters from any of this because, again, that one face palette has quite a bit in. Okay, so for face powders this week, I think I'm going to go with this Physicians Formula one that I have here. This is in the shade Translucent. It's just their, what's it called again? The multicolored pressed powder. So we'll get this one. And then for concealers, haven't I used in a while? You know what? I'm going to use the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This is in the shade Light Beige. And I'm going to use the e.l.f. This is the Hydrating Camo Concealer. I used just the regular one last week, so we'll use this one this week. And then for a liquid liner, I can't even remember which ones I've used recently. Okay, I need to move some of this stuff because it's in my way. Go in that drawer. Okay, this is a lash glue and liner, so I'm going to put that over there. I feel like I can have a little bit of fun with some of these liners this week because 2 of the palettes are matte and more neutral. So what should we do? I think I might take this Illuminating Gel Paint. This is just a pencil, but I'm going to use this week, I think. And a liquid liner. Which one do I want? Where are they all? Oh, you know what I'm going to use? I haven't used it in a while because I have it put in a different spot. I have this Kat Von D what is it? Tattoo liner. I think I got this in an Ipsy, and I only used it once, so I want to use it again. So we'll use this. And do I want to pick another colored liner? You know, I think I'll just pick one if I feel that I want to pick another one, but at least I have one that I'm kind of committing to using this week. So I think we're good with that. Okay, so for lips and brows and mascara, I'm just going to pull them as I feel. I find I neglect a lot of it more when I'm picking stuff, and then I'm not as inspired, if that makes sense, for lip products especially. So I'm not going to pick any lip products. Mascaras I just kind of use on a whim on whatever I feel like, and brow products I'm kind of working through a Project Pan one now, so I don't really go stray far from that. But I do have this little drawer here which has some liquid shadows and some loose pigments and stuff in it, and I was looking at these today. One is more pink and one is more like mother of pearl. Almost, actually now that I'm looking at it, it's almost like a purpley. It's very hard to see. Focus. There we go. So I'm thinking, I think this is the one I always pick though. So maybe I'll pick this one. Should I pick this one? Maybe I'll pick this one this week. This is the UCanBe, what are they? Loose pigments, and this is in the shade Vision. So I'll pick this one this week as well. Okay, and this is what all the palettes look like. This is the BH Cosmetics Royal Affair palette. This is a really pretty palette. I really like this one. Then I have the Makeup Geek one that it just sits in my top drawer and I just pull it when I need mattes. It's got like a lot of transition shades and crease shades kind of in it, and then it's got one shimmer right here, but we'll use it. And then we have the Ruby May Festival Daze palette, the Ccolor Cosmetics Savanna palette, this is the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Storm palette, and the Juvia's Place Nomad palette, right? Yes, Nomad palette. Okay, I just wanted to give a quick swatch of this pigment here. I'm not sure how well it's going to show up on camera, but it is really pretty. It probably needs a base or just used as a topper or a glitter glue, something like that, but I'm sure I can get it to work into some looks the next couple of weeks. And then this is that face palette that I was telling you about. That is kind of a mashup of different things. So up here we have 3 Too Faced products that were from one of their Christmas collections from like 3 or 4 years ago. These 2 pans are highlighters from Sydney Grace. I can't remember who this one is from. It's a highlighter, and I covered up the back with a magnet so I can't tell what it is. I think this is a balm blush that I got from Ipsy, and then these ones are Physician Formula highlighter, blush, and bronzer. So we are going to be using that as well. And this is everything that I'm going to be using for my Shop My Stash for the next couple of weeks. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried any of these items and what are your thoughts on them. And if you do Shop My Stash, are you excited for what you're using this week? How do you pick items? Do you just, use your mind and make decisions, or do you let an app make decisions for you? Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.